You're muted.
No, you missed my boo.
Oh man, there was a thought in my head and now I can't remember what it was. What in the world?
You like scaring me.
All right. Well, let me welcome everybody over here in the chat that we have in here so far. We have Sue from Lucky Dog Productions, moderator. We have Nettie, of course.
Yep.
We have Barbara from RV Underway. By the way, her hair, I don't know if she's still in here because that was a few minutes ago, but her hair, that purple color she has in it, I love it. It looks so pretty.
Yes.
All right. And then we have Hitch Up in Tow. And I think that's it so far. I know Nursing Our Travel Bug was doing a short live, and then there's some other things coming up after this. But we're going to go ahead and get into the story.
Barbara's in here.
Oh, she is in here. She did hear me. I love your hair. I absolutely love it. If mine was lighter, I would love to do that. I just dyed mine chocolate brown instead of dark brown. It looks the same.
So pretty with your nails. Look at those pretty nails you have.
Oh, yeah. I did fancy nails this time. They're kind of hard to see on camera, but Bulldog said, I'm living my best life. That's what he said. Because I have on all these bright colors. It's funny. All right, let's go ahead and get into the story, which is The Abandoned Mausoleum. And hi, Johnny's Journey and Linda Barker. I know nothing about this as usual. Nettie put it together, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting, so I'm excited. Yeah. So let's get into it and see what's happening. The Forgotten Dead, Abandoned Mausoleum in Alabama show decomposing skeletons lying in open caskets. Oh no. No. I think not.
I know. Clyde Booth used to dig graves as a teenager in Kentucky with his uncle. He witnessed firsthand the neglect that occurred at graveyards, from deteriorating caskets to unkept grounds. And, you do see that at a lot of cemeteries.
Yeah, but a skeleton, like an arm hanging out. Ooh.
Hey, that reminds me of your story you told me that time.
We also have Ford Band, aka Kenneth Oakes, that just came in. Hello.
Hey, Kenneth.
Yeah, that was a fake arm, though, at a funeral home. I can't imagine if I walked into a cemetery to explore it and there was a skeletal arm hanging out of a casket. I'd be like, I'm out. See you later.
I know, right?
Since 1969, Clyde Booth studied ancient burial sites such as mounds and the catacombs of Rome. The fact that the mounds and catacombs still existed today amazed Booth. He wanted to create a burial site that integrated both these concepts. Have you ever seen a video of people going into the catacombs in Rome?
No, this is the first time I've heard of them.
Underneath the streets of Rome, everywhere, there are tunnels of nothing but bones There's people that live down there in the catacombs with all these bones. It might be an interesting story for us to do on here too.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
there are explorer channels that have gone and they have to pay somebody that is like, it's not legal to go down there, but there's people that know the catacombs really well. And so they'll pay somebody to take them down there. And it's crazy what's underneath there.
Oh my.
We have Tommy's Travels, Raleigh Creative Travel. Welcome in.
Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic. The mausoleum was opened by the former gravedigger Clyde Booth in 1992 as an alternative to graveyards. Or wait, that's alternative to graveyards.
So, this is just me clarifying things because I'm not always the brightest. The mausoleums are the things that are above ground, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Built on 16 acres, the foundation rests 8 feet below the ground. Instead of being buried in the ground, as in conventional cemeteries, caskets were placed on metal racks in a vast warehouse-like room and stacked up to 8 levels high. Yeah, I'm envisioning like those concrete walls where the bodies kind of slide in like they would at the morgue. But
right.
Tommy's Travel said there's a whole society of people underneath the streets of Las Vegas too. That is true, but that's a little bit different. They live in the sewers in Las Vegas. Hello, Victoria May.
Hey.
And hello, Savvy One. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I can't. I'm still picturing a skeletal arm hanging out.
Yeah. Did we read the last one?
This is yours to read.
Okay. The map of the mausoleum shown in a photograph taken by Bullet shows the different sections of the building. I don't know if we read the last clip though.
This one right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did read that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I would totally believe you. Raleigh Creative Travel says, living in the sewers, they must have a crappy life.
I
I
see
actually.
Roy and Becky also. Hi, Roy and Becky.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Roy and Becky Travels. And also Angie Hay Family Adventures. Welcome in. I seen another documentary on the people living in the sewers in Vegas, and they have like a couch and everything. Like they have a full-on house set up down in the sewers there.
Really?
It's crazy.
Oh wow.
This is the one I need to read, correct? I'm lost.
No, this one I just read.
Okay. North County Bigfoot. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Wow, that is a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
Booth died in 2009 at the age of 89 from a heart attack, leaving his estate in the hands of his guardian. It wasn't long before the building was ransacked, including a skull which had become missing from one of the bodies. Instantly in my mind, that skull turned into a soccer ball and some kids are being naughty. Like, I don't know why, but that's just what popped in there. Maybe I shouldn't say what pops in my head all the time, but
I'm thinking what came to my mind was like voodoo, where people like to do all kinds of rituals and so forth, you know. So
like shrunken heads and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I
And
think I'm more comfortable with ghost
actually seeing
than
real bones.
yeah. That is ugh. That's a real life person.
Well, not a live person, but
True.
grieving visitors couldn't enter the room where the caskets were stored, but were allowed to lay flowers on the large earthen mound. I can't imagine, with him being able to run it until he passed, then you're not allowed to go in and see your loved ones, you know? Have to
Yeah,
close off.
a lot of people use the opportunity to go to the graveyards and stuff to mourn and visit with their
Right.
loved ones. I don't go to graveyards. Like
Yeah.
I would go to a graveyard just to go to a graveyard, but like I won't go visit my grandma or my grandpa's gravesite because for me I feel like their soul has left their body
Hmm.
and so they're not there at that gravesite. Um, I do know someone who bought property who has a 1800s um, grave. Like there's probably 20 graves, and it's got a little fenced in area. And even though it's from the 1800s, he can't touch it. He has to keep it upkept.
Oh,
And
wow.
if a family member were to show up, they would have to be allowed on the property to visit. And I just think that's kind of strange too. Can you imagine?
I
Ugh.
know. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Uh, we also have En Route with Chuck and
Mhm.
Cherry. Thank you for coming in.
Welcome.
And then we have Tommy Travels said, what came to my mind was framing someone for murder as a practical joke.
Yeah.
True. Roy and Becky said, a few years ago, a cemetery was found in our county. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
crazy thing too, is because they're in the woods and they haven't been upkept and they're from like the 1800s and whatever. A lot of them aren't even known about yet.
yeah.
All right. Ghoulish pictures and video footage showing the moment an urban explorer came across the human corpses left to rot in an underground mausoleum have come to light. Yeah, see, if I was that urban explorer, I would have tripped over my own 2 feet trying to get the heck out of Dodge if I ran across some bones like that.
Mm.
Uh, you guys have to check out this place near us. We felt spirits there. It was a cabin in the woods. We have a video on it. You know what? I think I've seen that.
Hmm.
I think you told me about that before. I went and checked it out. Was it a really small cabin that you were staying at and you guys didn't want to walk into the kitchen or through the kitchen? That was a really good video. If that's the one I'm thinking of. All right. Oh yeah, that is the one. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good video.
The creepy snaps reveal a series of caskets, some empty and some inhabited, and a map of the underground structure and the chapel room where families would lay their loved ones to rest.
So they kept exploring.
Yeah, obviously they kept going.
They braver than me.
Yeah, me too.
It is sad though, because that is someone's loved ones that are just out in the open like that.
I know.
The urban explorer who captured the images, known only as Bullet, said, "It still amazes me that something like this could occur. This type of stuff happens here in the US, which many people find it hard to believe." Yeah, you wouldn't think that that would be something that
Mm-mm.
would happen here.
I actually never thought it did until I ran across this story. I didn't
Yeah.
know it happened here. It was pitch black inside the mound when Bullet and his friends went to explore, and the biggest problem they had was maneuvering with their flashlights. Now they did this at night, pitch black.
You know, they say that that 3 a.m. is like the witching hour.
Witching hour.
So from 3 to 4 a.m., like, don't be messing with no ghost stuff.
No. No.
It's just. Bullet added, "People can't believe that bodies can be left behind in an abandoned building, especially in the United States." Yeah, there's certain laws. They're not supposed to be left
No.
behind like that. Roy and Becky said, "Nope, let them people rest in peace." En route with Chuck and Jerry said, "Yes, when it was 3 a.m., we kept hearing crazy noises." Yeah, 3 a.m. is a time that I don't mess with.
Mm. Is that the time that Hippie would do his exploring in the mansion? Was it around the witching hour as well?
I think it was like 12, 1 o'clock. So it was getting close, but it wasn't 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I think that as much as Bulldog doesn't want to admit it, I think it was him calling Beelzebub. I'm not even saying the word right, but
Yeah.
that's like the word for one of the devils or Satan or something. And so Bulldog jokingly was saying it. He didn't really mean it, but I think that's kind of what creeped everybody out. That gave the extra creep factor.
Yeah. Ugh, I get chills thinking about it.
Oh, my kids want to go back again and stay. They love it.
Little doll leg. Ah.
I think this one's yours, isn't it?
Yeah. There were more bodies up in the caskets above, but we could not reach them. Some friends and I tried reporting it to the local police, but they never responded.
See, now that's nonsense. That's like the police know it's there. Oh, well, too bad, too sad. It's like that's somebody's loved one. Lucky Dog said that place would be a bit too creepy for me. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I could handle it with the actual human remains in there. Roy and Becky said they say someone is watching you if you wake up between certain hours. See, don't be telling me that, Roy and Becky. No, because I wake up almost every hour on the hour. So there's, I wake up at 3 o'clock, but I close my eyes real tight and I just try to fall back asleep. But 3, 4, and 5, I wake up all the time.
And you have a creepy room too, BB.
Yeah, I have a room in my house that I didn't even know existed. So don't be telling me that. Whoever's watching me, stop it.
Stop. No.
Go away. Oh man. You just read this one, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Three Souls Paranormal. Welcome to the room. Roy and Becky said they knew it existed, but didn't want the responsibility of taking care of it. Yeah, I believe that's probably true.
Yeah.
Which there should be. Aren't there funeral homes and businesses in the area that take care of the deceased that would want to take care of that and not leave it like that? I would
At
think.
least transfer it, to another place that does, do that. Now that is them looking above at the other caskets that they couldn't reach.
So they weren't even like enclosed in concrete, because like the ones you see at the funeral home, it's enclosed, or not at the cemetery nowadays. There's like concrete and everything's
all the way
enclosed in,
around.
and
Yeah.
these aren't. These are just stacked up caskets. Can you imagine the smell when they put fresh back when it first opened?
It's
This is gross.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
What I'm about to say here is gross. So if I take you down that thought process, I'm very sorry. But so these aren't encased in concrete. They put multiple caskets in there. Originally, when they put these caskets in there, they weren't skeletons, they were bodies, and bodies decompose.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the smell of that place? What in the why? Why would someone think that's a good idea?
I know. And the person that did this is the one that used to see how they were mistreated, you know?
Oh man, no. That's, see, I didn't know. I thought that was in concrete. And the concrete cracked or something. See, Barbara says, when we cracked Melvin's Roku, we saw the shows that Nettie researched. Linda Barker said, a warehouse. Yeah, a warehouse. Oh, I can't even imagine.
No, but this is underground. Remember, there's a mound.
I get that it's underground, but still, like, imagine if the door opened, the smell that would come out that door. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
My luck, one would fall and open up, and yes, that would be me, Roy and Becky.
Oh, yeah.
En route said no. Roy and Becky, the smell would be awful. Yes. Linda Barker, I wonder if the guy that made it was buried there. That's a good question.
Right.
All right. Man, that is creepy. That are those bugs too? Because that ain't mud. That casket's not sitting in mud.
Well, right above it, that looks like an eyeball.
It does. That light. If anyone has ever been around, hold on. If anyone has ever been around a dead person who is in the beginning of decomposition, the smell stays embedded in your mind forever. Even I did hospice for a couple of elderly people, and even before they passed, they had a smell to them. It was a very distinct smell that let you know that they were nearing end. So I don't even want to imagine the after smell.
Yeah.
Barbara says, makes you wonder how many of the remains didn't have family, so no one checked on their family member. That's very true. Yeah. I wonder if that's how they got away with this.
Yeah.
Is because they just didn't have family members. Angie says, we have Indian mounds around here in West Virginia. I believe that's what WV stands for, where there are mass Indian burials similar to these. We have that here too. It's called Cherokee mounds, I believe. But it's not like this where you can't go in it. It's just they put the Indians and then they put dirt on top of them and then put more Indians and then put dirt on top. Indians is not the correct word. Indigenous
Native
people.
American.
Yeah, but they just kept burying more and more, and then they have these huge mounds and stairs that go to the top of it. It's a crazy sight to see.
Miss Barbara was saying she thinks that's mold.
Mold. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's better than where my mind was going, Barbara. Thank you.
Yeah.
Three Souls says, I actually worked in an abandoned funeral home years ago, and the smell there was just horrible.
I can't
I
imagine.
bet.
I don't even like smelling food that went bad, so I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and this has been there so long, I doubt that it has that smell anymore, but I don't know. Is this one yours? I think it is.
Okay. The remains of chairs and what appears to be a podium are scattered across a floor in the abandoned mausoleum.
So I'm guessing that because there was the chapel down there, there's chairs, like people would go down there and hang out with their deceased loved ones.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's how he had it.
Barbara, thank you. I appreciate that. She just said trying to keep things a little more pleasant. I appreciate that. I just can't. I can't imagine a place like this. That's just here in the United States. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know it existed as far as this.
I guess that's the chapel. That was looks
Yeah.
like it's above ground. Johnny's
Like
Journey said, "Somebody remind me not to eat my dinner before BB's show next week."
Sorry, Johnny.
In high school, we had to go to a funeral home and see where they embalm the body.
Wow.
All right, so I guess that's a good time to tell my story. I don't know if any of you have heard it. I think some of you have heard it before, but my first job was when I was 14 years old, parking cars at a funeral home. Now, I didn't literally drive the cars. I would have to stand out there with my vest on and wave cars and tell them where to go. In order to get my vest and my little flashlights, I would have to go downstairs into the room where our vests were. And the room where our vests were was right next to the room where they embalmed everybody. And you know, that was scary enough. It's dark down there. You got to get to the room before you can flip on the light. Well, I go down there one day, I flip on the light, and I look over to my left, and there is an arm on the floor. I lost it. It was a fake arm. It was a fake arm. But in my little 14-year-old brain, that was not a fake arm, and I was out. We have New Vision Residential in here. Hello, hello. All right. Linda Barker says, I remember the smell of a dead deer decomposing in the woods by my house growing up. Yes.
Wow.
Or even a mouse. I know a lot of you are RVers. One 4th of July, we went down to my family's house at the lake, and they had an RV, and we were going to stay in the RV because that was the only room left. And we got in there, and there was this horrific smell, and we ended up tracking it down, and it was a tiny little mouse. So if a tiny little mouse can make that big of a smell, just saying.
Mm-mm.
All right. Keep going here. One shot even shows cupboards still stocked with embalming powder, while another shows yellowish skeletal remains. Embalming powder.
Okay, everybody stop eating.
Oh my. Even like that's wow.
Yeah.
I got so many questions. I thought embalming stuff was a liquid. Maybe they mix the powder and the omega together. Never mind. I'm thinking too much about this.
I don't know the formula. Yeah.
Nette says, I don't know the formula. I don't want to know it. That's funny.
Some friends and I tried reporting it to the local police, but they never responded. Here they're still trying to get somebody out there. Ah.
Roy and Becky said, I don't want to know. Linda Barker said, that makes me think that they did the embalming on the premises. Maybe other funeral homes weren't involved. Yeah, I would agree. That's probably true. Day's Great Adventure. Hello, hello. And New Vision Residential says, anybody want powdered Parmesan cheese?
Gross.
Roy and Becky says, I'd take it to the news. Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, my friends that had that property with the cemetery on it, there's laws. They have to keep it up, and they have to let the family in. So if the personal person has to follow these laws, why is this big, huge thing not having to follow any laws? Plus, the bodies being in the ground probably can't be real good. Well, never mind. I guess. Never mind. I'm just going to stop that thought. All right. Is it yours or mine? I can't remember.
Yours.
Mine?
Yeah.
Right. Bullet added, it wasn't until another friend of mine reported it to the FBI, citing grave robbers, that something was finally done. Wow. They had to go all the way up to the FBI.
Yeah. Now, this one, actually, when the FBI finally came out, the head was missing. So they took the skull of this person.
So somebody's running around with somebody's skull.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That looks like a thing of honey inside the shell. Well, they had to eat lunch at some point. Just saying. Angie says, sounds like they did the embalming, funeral, and burials all there. But the families didn't know exactly how their loved ones were buried.
Yeah.
Linda, I hope you're not eating venison parmesan. I don't know. I guess some people don't have the same sympathy. Like, I don't think any of us would walk in and take a skull home as like a treasure.
Why would you know? But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just.
Yeah.
In January 2015, AL.com became aware of the facility and reported it to authorities. The remains of one infant and 7 adults were removed by the Bessemer Police Department and the building secured. Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Greetings from my bunker of inquity. Hello, Shakaton. Missing skull must be a Hamlet play nearby.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's just a little collage. Well, this led to more regulations in the funeral industry. Stuff like this still happens. The mourning Glory funeral home scandal took place at a Hell Morning Glory Chapel in Jacksonville, Florida in 1988 and involved improper disposal and burial of bodies by the funeral home owner, Louis J. Howe. That was a mouthful. I can't hear you, BB.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. If you were into black magic and such, you would live to have that skull. That's true. Very,
And it
very
kept
true.
going. Yeah.
I'm just failing all around here. Hold on one second. Do. Oh my. All right.
Okay.
So this is the one you just read.
Yeah.
That's the one that I need to read. Come on.
I know.
There we go. Investigation eventually revealed bodies stacked in the funeral home without preservation or refrigeration and multiple bodies buried inside single caskets.
Yeah, I
Oh.
never knew any of this was happening. You know, it's crazy.
Okay, so Shaktan said, thank goodness for DNA evidence. I don't even know if they were able to use DNA evidence at that point to put everybody back together.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, people had been going in there and taking skulls and whatever else part of the bodies they wanted of people's loved ones. Unreal. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to Tommy's travels. DNA leads the way, says New Vision Residential. Yeah, if you have the full body too, then you could rebury it somewhere. But I mean, the skull could be sitting in some kid's closet.
Yeah.
Same kind of stuff happened not too long ago in Georgia.
Wow.
I can't remember where, but a place that was supposed to be cremating people got caught dumping bodies in the woods and big graves. Oh my.
That's just crazy.
Skull tampering and such. Yes. I believe that was in Georgia. Folks were led to believe that the family members were cremated. Wow. Days Great Adventure said that's so creepy. Yeah, not refrigerated and all that stuff. Now imagine the smell.
Yeah. We got to go back one more. It moved. Okay. Oh, you did read this one, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm losing it. Hal was convicted of felony grand theft for accepting money for funerals that were not performed. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison and was released in February 1989.
He got 1 year in prison, and all those bodies that were, all those loved ones that were affected by it, that ain't right. Linda Barker, that's probably true. Anything to save a dime.
Yeah.
Hitch 'em and Toast, the skulls are probably on an auction site. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Shock tongue. Get to digging. You didn't have to dig. You just opened the doors, walked in, and there was all kinds of bodies. So strange.
Can't imagine how much money he got, and from the families, and then he just did a year.
Yeah. I'm surprised the families, like, where were the families to make sure that I don't know. I don't understand that part. After the bodies were discovered during a routine state inspection last week, Howell said He hadn't disposed of the bodies either because family members couldn't be reached for instructions or because the city hadn't given him needed paperwork for indigenous burials. The chapel has no
Refrigeration.
refrigeration units.
Yeah.
Whoops. Are they going to refrigerate the bones at this point? I mean, there's no. All it is skulls now, right? Like
Yeah.
skeletons. I don't think you have to refrigerate skeletons at this point. I don't know. This whole thing's sad for the families. But then again, if they can't reach the families, guess not many families cared.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement technicians who dug up portions of the yard Friday searching for evidence of burials found nothing, but that was not the case inside the building. 36 bodies were found. So basically, he kept money for 36 bodies. I think you're muted, BB.
I keep doing that. Didn't they say earlier there was babies too?
I think so.
Yeah. Angie says unless he was still doing business. It's true. He could have started a different business somewhere else. Sadly.
Yeah, and that just looks like a house.
That's the Morning Glory Funeral Home
that this took place in. Yep.
It's ridiculous.
So I can't imagine how many more are out there. You know? It's just, it's crazy.
Like, just picture yourself walking in the door of that place. Dang it. Hold on.
Okay.
You're like, oh, what's this place? And you go and you open the door and you walk in, and then you find all these caskets and stuff. Like, that's insane. I can't even imagine. Shaktan says the guy went full Gacy. Keep them remains close to you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I wonder if that had anything to do with it, though. Honestly, like, I wonder if he went there and enjoyed being there with the body. Ooh.
I know.
Creepiness.
Oh.
All right, so I always ask Nettie what she's got coming up this week, but I also want to ask everyone in the chat, what videos do you have coming out this week? Is there any projects you're excited about? If there are, drop them in the chat so we can all keep an eye out for them. That would be fantastic. And then Nettie, what do you have coming up this week?
We're actually, the video that's coming out on Wednesday, we're still on Route 66, hitting a few spots, which is awesome. You can never get enough of Route 66. And we also had a meetup which was, it was really surprising. We didn't know that we were going to meet up with a couple that we met up with, and it's pretty cool. So I think it's going to be a great video. I don't want to give it away on who we met. So yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Well, everyone will have to check that out for sure. And then I know Boxman D is going to have a premiere coming on after we get done here. And then after her premiere, she's going to go live. And then we also have, there's someone else doing a premiere.
Days Great Adventure is going to be coming on after us.
Yeah, Days Great.
6:30 Central. Yeah, 6:30 Central.
Yeah, they're gonna have a premiere. And Nettie, if you're able to drop that link in the chat, that would be great for Days Great Adventure. And then let me see. Victoria May says the only ghost I mess with is the Holy Ghost. Tommy Travels says, in 2 weeks, my video from the Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois will come out. Yeah, that was really cool. Tommy got to go surprise Hippie at
cool.
Metropolis. So I don't go Gacy and get caught, BB. Well, one time I did, says Shakaton. Angie says, I'm going camping next week, so we'll be returning with a lot of content to put out. That's awesome. All right. And then Nettie has dropped the link for Day's Great Adventure, so you can go watch their premiere coming up soon.
Yeah.
My brain keeps doing that. It's been doing that since I got on here with you earlier before we even went live. My brain just like, I have a thought, it's right there, and then boom, it just leaves.
I'm going to start doing lives with Day's Great Adventure. We're actually caravanning with them at the moment, heading back to Texas. And we're going to be doing, 5,000 miles? Yeah, 5,000 miles, give or take, on our way back to Texas. That's how far we are. And we're going to be discussing how to save on a budget. You know, they're doing a lot of boondocking, of course, and the memberships that we have and how we can do this very cheap, you know, and we're going to be going over the pros and cons of that. So that's going to be a very good subject that we're looking forward to starting in the next few weeks. It's going to be on their channel and on ours. We're going to rotate.
I was going to ask when you were starting that, do you know what days it's going to be on? Do you know any of that yet? Are you still figuring it out?
Yeah, we're still figuring it out. Yeah, and we'll probably post it on Instagram indicating it, or if we can drop it somehow, you know, we'll put it out there.
Yeah, definitely try to keep up with everybody on Instagram. That's something I've noticed more of lately, is that since we don't really have like a live schedule anymore that everybody goes by, pretty much everybody's over on Instagram, and they usually announce, hey, I'm going live at this time on this day. So for me, I'm Beyondbeauty3 over on Instagram. And then Nettie, you're MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless over on Instagram.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to drop their Instagram in the chat here so that we can follow you if we're not following you, that would be a great idea too. 54 Jars says, keeping it real, girls, watching behind you. Thanks for watching, 54 Jars. I appreciate the support. Yeah, but definitely Instagram is a great place to keep up with when people are going on.
And that's where we like to drop our Sundays as well. We put it out there showing that we're going to go live on Murder, Mystery, Haunted History, but it is under Beyondbeauty3 on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, why does my brain keep doing that?
I think it's time for ice cream. That always helps.
Johnny's Journey is on Instagram too, under Johnny's Journey. I know what I was going to tell you. Just a funny story. There's a funny gal. I first saw her on Facebook. I know she's on Instagram. I know she's on YouTube now. Chelsea Lynn. She's got blonde hair. She's a very heavyset lady, and she acts like a redneck. It's her thing. She's not, but that's her character. Her and her husband and her whole family. And she just recently got a contract and started touring with Comedy Central and like doing different comedy clubs and stuff. She's hilarious. Most people, if you see her, you've seen her before, I'm sure. But she on TikTok, I saw a thing for Uranus in Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
And they are trying to get her to come to Uranus. And I was like, that is so funny. If they can get her in, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was reminded of that when you were talking about your videos still being on Route 66. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back next Sunday with a new story. Thank you, as always, Nettie, for putting these together. They're always so interesting, and I love hearing about all of it. So I appreciate that.
I feel like you have the harder job trying to work it all, but I really enjoy doing it.
Well, this stream just took a dark turn, no pun. A turn into space. Shaktan, if you haven't heard of it, look up a place called Uranus, Missouri. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think you will find some comedic relief in that. With that being said, wishing you all much kindness and much love.
And we're sending love your way. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.